Hello everyone and welcome to a quick episode of Trek Canon Bootleg Edition. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the evolution of the Borg in Star Trek. Now the Borg are some of the most terrifying and fearsome species in Star Trek. Well, it used to be until they kind of got nerfed in, Voyager and some of the later iterations. But the Borg themselves were started off as some of the most terrifying and fearsome of the species in Star Trek canon. And one of the reasons why that was is because of their adaptability to anything that you throw at them, right? To render whatever you throw at them ineffective, right? The fact that they included you in their collective, right? So they assimilated you, and they assimilated entire species, right? So they take all to understand things, they would incorporate things that they didn't understand into their collective. So that's how they learn. So let's talk about the evolution of that and use canon as an example of why I think what it is that I think. Now, there's been, like I said, many iterations of the Borg since they were introduced in the Next Generation. All right, you got the Confederacy, right, that was introduced in Voyager. You got the other type of Borg that, what was their name? That weird lady from Picard ended up running. All right, you got different factions of the Borg. Now the thing is that that's not supposed to really be the case, because as the Borg started off in canon, if a Borg disconnected from the collective, they would self-destruct. So all of these factions of the Borg that resulted from drones and parts of the collective being separated and stuff like that, they should have self-destructed. So I don't know how that was the case. So they evolved in canon as far as that went. So let's talk about another one of the possible evolutions. Now, it was this episode called Drone from Star Trek Voyager, okay, where we were introduced to what the Borg would be like from the 29th century, okay, because the Borg nanites from the now time, present time, assimilated 29th century technology in the form of the Doctor's Hollow emitter and created a futuristic 29th century Borg by the name of One. Now, here's the thing. There's two very important things that happened during that episode that leads me to believe what I'm about to say, okay? If you were to think of the Borg as, in scientific engineering terms, all right? The Borg, you have non-destructive testing, NDT, and you have destructive testing, DT, right? In destructive testing, whatever it is that you're testing is destroyed, right? It's no longer usable. In non-destructive testing, types of things are implemented so that that item, that part, that material can be preserved, all right? So we do things like mag particle, dye penetrant, you got eddy current, you have sonic, you have all types of things for non-destructive testing. Now, the Borg fell under destructive testing. So what did they do? They assimilated people. They injected nanites into people. They scooped up your cities and stuff like that. Like I said, they cut apart your ships to understand the materials and how it's designed, all that types of things. They assimilated your engineers and culture and everything to figure out those types of things. Now, in the episode Drone, all right, like I said, there's two very important things that lead me to believe that the Borg of the 29th century have abandoned the destructive aspect of their testing. All right, they abandoned being destructive to the things that they were trying to understand and went towards a non-destructive way of analyzing and understanding individuals. For instance, I don't believe that the Borg of the 29th century assimilated people the same way. So I believe that once they come across a race of individuals or a civilization that they don't understand, never been exposed to, right? They put these tubules into people. They extract the DNA sample from this particular race, and they create a drone to add to their collective, leaving that sample unaffected. They are not part of the collective. They still able to go and be part of back to being part of their society. It's the same thing we seen done with McCaney in that episode Drone. Now, the other thing is, in that episode, the nanites only assimilated enough material or enough technology to create what they needed. Instead of assimilating an entire ship of Voyager, which would be something that the Borg nanites would normally do, they only assimilated enough of the science lab to make a maturation chamber to create this drone, and they stopped. All right. So in the future, it could be possible that the Borg will only take a portion or a piece of your technology, right? Not the entire thing. And from that piece, able to extrapolate everything they need to know about your technology, about your engineering principles. And from taking a DNA sample of somebody from your culture, they're able to understand about that race, the biology of the race, all that types of things. So I think in the future, the Borg from the 29th century would be more along the lines of non-destructive or non-damaging when it comes to their understanding or assimilating of the information from things that they don't understand. That being said, it would be interesting to see a Borg as part of Starfleet. Anyway, let me know in the comments of what you guys think. Let me know if you guys like the video and like the content. Let me know what you guys would like me to talk about sometimes, man. I be thinking sometimes I just be rambling or it be some information I don't think people be wanting to know. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And as always, peace, recycle, and say the whales. You guys be cool.